It's that time of year again for the biggest industry show of the season. We are at Cultivate 2025, and you can see the booth behind me is the Proven Winners booth. So I'm going to be taking you for a walk through that booth, showing you new plant varieties for 2025, and they have a lot of new great introductions as far as even different plant categories. So let's go ahead and take a walk through the booth. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new varieties. We're going to start off with just two of my favorites for this year. We have the Super Tunia Tierra Pink, which is a beautiful Super Tunia that presents as kind of a bicolor, bright pink flowers with beautiful white in the center there. I love it's kind of a watermark looking effect, I would say. Super Tunia Tierra Pink, as you've seen in our trials in our home gardens, is a very prolific bloomer, excellent vigor, means the plant is grows really well, nice trailing plant. So we're really excited for the Super Tunia Tierra Pink coming up in 2025. Another one that we've really enjoyed growing this year is the Super Tunia Tierra Blue, which is a beautiful, vibrant, deep, dark purple. Again, with kind of that white center, kind of giving that watermark look. From our trials, what we've noticed with the Super Tunia Tierra Blue is it's not quite as vigorous as the Tierra Pink. So what I think for next year, if we're going to grow this in a container together again, we would probably do 2 of the Tierra Blue to 1 of the Tierra Pink, and see if we could keep kind of more of an equal amount of flower look by doing that. I'm loving the really vibrant, bold colors. As you know, a lot of times when I'm doing my plantings, it's just very bright and vibrant because that's, I think, kind of fits my personality a little bit. Making our way around the corner to the next vignette, we have the Scaevolas. These are the Scaevola Stardivas, and we have been also really impressed with these in our trials. And the thing that I like about them is the flowers are a lot larger than other Scaevolas that we carry, the Whirlwind series. So here's Stardiva Pink, and you can see that that flower is a full circle of petals, where the Scaevola that we have currently is more of a half of a circle. So these are a full circle, which makes the flowers look a lot bigger. So we've got the pink, the white, and then also the blue. I should mention, in plant world, blue and purple is an interchangeable word. So plants are called blue, but oftentimes, and most oftentimes, they're going to present with more of a purple coloration. Why that is, I don't know, to be honest with you. But look at that beautiful collection, very full flower coverage. The next series is the Virtuosa series of dahlias, and these are the Virtuosa Pinkerific is the first one we're going to take a look at. I'm glad that they finally have added some dahlias into the Proven Winner collection. Pinkerific shows this beautiful pink dahlia bloom, really large flower size with a beautiful yellow center there. Now these have been in the show floor for 3 days, so some of them are starting to look a little bit tired, so I do apologize for that. But at least this gives you a little idea of what's new and what's coming up. Virtuosa Classy Carmine is the next one, which is a really deep scarlet red color with just a little bit of yellow there in the center. I'm going to try to find you some fresh flowers to show you the coloration. Here's a pretty good plant. It's just a really deep, rich red. There's also Virtuosa Dayglow Yellow, and this plant is looking a little tired, but again, it's a really crisp, clean yellow flower. These flowers are showing a little small here on the showroom floor, but that's because they've been in here for several days and really haven't had the proper daylight to continue to open and to show the large blooms. And then here's one more. I don't see the name tag on this one, so I'm not sure what the color is. And this one could be, I don't know, I'm not even going to guess. So I'll try to figure out the name of this particular color so you know it. But again, lots of buds, lots of flowers, big flowers, nice deep dark green foliage, which are all the things that you're looking for when you're growing and adding new plant varieties to a collection. So look who I found in the booth, Jack. So Jack, you've got some new AquaPot lights, so we're going to talk about that here in a minute. I'm going to have people learn about like the different new sizes, how many days between watering, and how much water they hold. So if you can show me that.
We will. Jack Barnwell here. I am the creator and inventor of AquaPots by Proven Winners. Here at Cultivate, we have a really exciting new announcement. For the last couple years, we've had the AquaPots Light collection available, which is all these beautiful lightweight planters, and the AquaPot Insert that is available separately or retrofits all of these planters into self-watering AquaPots by proven winners. These inserts have been incredibly popular because a lot of people are like, oh, I have pots at home and I love my pots, but I want to use the self-watering technology. I want the solution, but I don't want to have to buy all new pots. So that's what the insert was so great for. The one bit of feedback we heard from so many people was, these are really, really amazing, but do they come in more sizes? Because it wasn't like that perfect, great fit for their pots. And yes, now your dreams have been answered, and we do have new sizes. So this is our smaller size here. We're calling the mini. This holds about 1.5 gallons of water. And depending on the conditions, will probably last 4 to 5 days up to a week between waterings. If it's in the full sun, it's going to be more like 3 or 4 days. If it's any kind of part sun or shade conditions, easily will last a week, wicking up that moisture and feeding your plants for a week between waterings. The classic size, or our medium size that we came out with originally, confidently a week between waterings anywhere. This guy's really great for that. And then we have our large AquaPot Insert. This guy is more for like a larger 24-inch planter or something. Some bigger urns or larger planters will fit down in there, and this will last at least a week, well up into really 2 weeks between waterings. So really awesome solution. They've been super popular. Highly recommend you guys try them out and let us know what you think. Cheers.
I love the layout that they did this year. So many cute little vignettes. Here's another new variety. This is part of the veined series. This is Supertunia Mini Vista Plum Veined. So I guess it's actually part of the Mini Vista series, but there's been a lot of veined, trailing veined is what the old variety names were, and they were excellent vigor, excellent trailing abilities. And I'm loving this plum. It's just adding in a new color to the Supertunia Mini Vista collection that isn't there yet. And to be honest, even in the just regular Vista series, there's nothing like this color yet. So this is going to be exciting with this plum flower with the deep dark veins. This is going to have a great trailing ability for in containers and baskets, but also being part of that Vista series, that tells us it's going to be an excellent ground plant as well. So if you're looking for something that really will fill out a lot of area in your ground, the Mini Vistas or the Vistas are the perfect Supertunia collection to be looking into. Here's a new combination that they put together for 2025, and this is the Vista View combination with the Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, and Supertunia Vista Snowdrift. And then the thriller they're using in this combination is the Emerald Isle Alocasia, and we can see that these Vistas definitely were a little bit more vigorous than the Emerald Isle. So if we were to plant this combination, we would want to try to get that Emerald Isle bigger before we would plant the Supertunias around it. That way the Emerald Isle really would be a standout as a thriller in this mix. Beautiful mix of color. The nice thing is these plants all have similar habit, which is important when you're planting plants together. The Supertunias anyways, they all have similar habit and pair really well together. Next little vignette, let's see what's new in here. This is just kind of a nice little smattering of all the new plants put together. So some of the plants in here are new from last year. So Superbell's Double Smitten Pink. This was a new variety last year. Beautiful double Superbell. Kind of a bi-color pink there. Looks like little rosebuds. Superbells are good for container and hanging basket plantings. Not so great in the landscape. Color Blaze Mini Me Chartreuse is a new coleus to the Color Blaze collection. Mini Me Watermelon was introduced last year, and now we've got the Mini Me Chartreuse. Beautiful chartreuse green foliage, very bright. This is going to really stand out in your sun or shade gardens. In the trials right now, it's not very tall. It's probably about 14, maybe 16, 18 inches tall. So fairly compact for the Color Blaze series. But if you're looking for a vibrant splash of color, this Mini Me Chartreuse is going to do just that. Here's a closer look at the Emerald Isle Alocasia. And the thing I want to point out with this is this leaf has very, very thick substance, beautiful wavy edges, and glossy. Look how shimmery and shiny that is. So this Alocasia is very upright. It's not gonna droop over like some of the Calocasias we carry. So definitely a nice upright habit. Here's a little bit bigger one. One thing to say with these Alocasias is they are definitely heavy feeders. And what that means is that you want to make sure that you're keeping them well fertilized to keep them looking their best. But look at that nice upright habit. The leaves are just so large, and even if you're looking at them from the bottom side, so much fun texture to them. So we're excited to add that for 2025. Mojave Mango, which is a new portulaca or moss rose. Beautiful, kind of a nice light, bright, sunny orange color. The portulaca are great for full sun gardens, drought tolerant. For those of you doing rock gardens or that kind of thing, this would be a great addition to a rock garden. One thing to point out with the portulaca is that if the sun's not out or if it's not sunny, like nighttime, they do close up in the evening. So you're going to have your best flower color in your most brightest, sunniest locations. There's another picture of the Star Diva Blue. Just a full coverage of flowers. Making our way to the next vignette, we have the Hollywood Hibiscus. So the hibiscus is a new series for proven winners. These are the tropical hibiscus, and we're really excited for this. We love hibiscus at Garden Crossings, and it's nice to be able to add the tropical line of hibiscus into the collection. Look at this beautiful one. Oh my gosh. So for me personally, I love the oranges and the yellows of the hibiscus, just because that's not a normal color hibiscus we can grow in Michigan. So we can grow the hardy hibiscus, which are pinks and whites and reds, but we really don't get any of the orange or yellow colorations on the hardy hibiscus. So this will be exciting. We're hoping to do some trials this fall, so that we'll have a little bit more information on them coming for you for next spring. But I think there's about 12 different colors in this series, so something definitely to look for in 2025, just to add a whole new thriller look to container combinations. Plant these with some annuals underneath, or just plant them standalone in a pot. Big, big, big flowers. And the other thing I should mention, with these Hollywood hibiscus, typically your tropical hibiscus flowers will last a day, maybe two. The Hollywood hibiscus flowers last 2 to 3 days, so they definitely they color up the plant longer, just because the plants can age longer and stay with the plant. Begonias. So there's 3 new begonias this year, part of the Space Age series. So these got kind of a deep dark foliage to them. There is Space Age Europea, and that one has silvers, greens, and purples. Space Age Black Hole, and I think this is going to be important too. That way you can see, here we go, all 3 of the new varieties together, so you can see how the variations actually are. So Space Age Black Hole has that kind of more of a magenta center there, and then Space Age Triton is more of a splashy kind of look, a spattered kind of look on the plant. So that too is very unique. These are grown mostly for their foliage. They may flower a little bit, but the flower is not where the interest is with these plants. It's all about the foliage. Also, there is a new heliotrope. This is the Aero Magic series. Purple is the color. So this one you can see is a little tired. So I'm going to take you down to one that has better flowers. The thing I like about this is it's got large purple clusters of flowers, very fragrant, nice mounding habit. So some of the other heliotrope we have right now are more, I'm going to say stringy, but that's not really a good way to describe it. More open, we'll just say, where these create more of a nice mounding habit and really, really dark, dark purple foliage. So that's pretty exciting. Another one of my favorites for this coming year is the new Angelonia, the Wedgwood Pink. Angelonia are a great upright thriller in combinations. And some of you may be familiar with the Angel Face Wedgwood Blue. So this is a great pairing for the Wedgwood Blue with these beautiful bicolors. It's got nice bubblegum pink and white flowers. You can see it's got great branching, which means a nice full plant with lots of flower spikes. And it's about 18 or so inches tall in these containers. So this will stand up nicely in a container if you want to plant some petunias or calibrachoa with it and use this as a thriller. Angelonia White has also been improved this year. So for those of you that have grown it in the past, it had kind of a small, not super significant habit. But the new habit of this Angelonia, you can see it's got, again, better branching, which means more flower spikes, which in turn is more flower color to the one singular plant. So this too is great for use in combinations. You can use it in the landscape. We've planted this in the landscape, and it really has kind of a fun little airy look in the landscape as well. And you can see it pairs well with the Wedgwood pink. So if you wanted to even plant these together, that would give you a really cool look as well. But I really do. I love the coloration here of the new Angel Face Wedgwood Pink Angelonia. All right, so I'm here with Janey from Dig, Plant, Water, and Repeat.
You got it. You got it.
So I'm sure you recognize the face, but I asked Janey if she would tell you what her favorite annual is. So she's also been doing the trials for the 2025 varieties like what we have.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was curious to see what her favorite is.
Yeah.
And you may find it's similar to what mine is.
Is it?
Well, I've got two favorites. So,
okay. So my hands down favorite of the new introductions is the Tiara Pink. Hands down. So I planted the tiaras. I planted both Tiara Blue and Tiara Pink in pots right in front of my office. And I planted the Tiara Pink underneath a topiary spiral.
Cool. Yes.
The whole thing is filled with this beautiful, beautiful pink, gorgeous supertunia, and then it's actually growing up.
Mine is doing that too.
Right?
I have a palm tree. And it's growing up the palm tree. It's crazy. It's so aggressive.
It like climbs, and I'm just like, oh, this is fantastic.
Is this a benefit or not a benefit? I don't know.
Oh, it's a benefit.
It was a benefit for a hot minute. I might cut mine out though. We'll see.
Yeah. No, leave it. It's so fun.
We'll see. So, are you growing the blue as well?
I am.
Okay. So, comparing the two.
Blue is definitely smaller. It's beautiful. I think the blue is more eye-catching because everybody who's come over is like, oh, what's that? And is pointing out the blue.
Yes, yes.
But I'm partial
I like
to pink.
The pink. I do. I love the pink. And
yeah.
I was just saying, a video I did just a minute ago. I'm like, plant one pink to two blue, and I think you'll have a good mix of color. That way the pink doesn't take over the blue. So
perfect advice. Listen to her. She's the boss.
So let's go look at my favorite. A Tiara Pink is definitely it, but there's one other one, and I want to see what you think about this one. So let's go walk. So yeah, in addition to the Tiara,
she walked me over here, and it's like, oh yeah, I knew it.
Wedgwood Pink. I think that's gonna be a great thriller. It'll match your Tiara Pink.
Oh, you're right.
It should be the thriller of the combination.
We'll do like a combination for it. Yeah. So have you grown Wedgwood Blue?
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
This is such a complementary color with it, but too, it's like a good pink. You know how pinks are not always a good pink?
I agree. I totally agree with you.
Pink.
So yeah, this one is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So Tiara Pink, I mean, honestly, they're all really good, but Tiara Pink, Wedgwood Pink, the new Salvias.
Oh, I like the white. I like the white one.
Yeah. So I live in a really, really hot climate where we're having triple-digit temperatures. The Salvias are like laughing. I'm like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you live in a hot area,
perennial for you? Will they be I mean, they're annual, but will they be a perennial?
They'll be perennials.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. I thought with the white, I'm like, is it going to get dirty looking? You know how white gets dirty?
No,
but
it looks like a Veronica. It looks like a Veronica.
It's not turning brown.
And it can handle the heat. It's super cool. So there's some really, really fun ones coming out.
Yeah. So we'll be showing you all of them here. I'm going to continue my way through the booth, but when I see a familiar face, I want to stop and talk. So
I want to come back. I want to come back.
Oh, you've got to come back. You've got to come back.
Book my flight.
Next week?
Yeah, right?
That might be much. So Janey had talked about the Salvia that did really good for her in her California garden, and these two have done good in our trials. So we have the Salvia Unplugged White. So as I mentioned, I didn't know if it would keep its crisp, clean white but it really does. Kind of a silver green foliage, probably more green than silver, but it does present a little silvery because of that white. But beautiful, crisp white, nice thriller for combinations. Hummingbirds have been loving it in my garden. So in addition to the purple and the pink, we now have the unplugged white. And what about this? This is the unplugged red salvia. So we've got red, white, and blue you could create if you're into the patriotic look. Really crisp red flowers. So the hummingbirds love tubular flowers, and that's why they like the salvia so well, is because they're just loaded with all these beautiful tubular flowers. Now a lot of people will say that hummingbirds are partial to red. I can't honestly say that's the case. They are equally loving the pinks and the purples and the whites in my garden, but it is nice that we finally have a nice, beautiful red salvia. Here you're getting kind of a first-hand view of the trade show. We love going to these trade shows because this is where we can see all things new for the upcoming year in one location. There's hundreds of booths here with all kinds of new things. So this is where we can learn, and it's a huge event for learning. So here we have the Acapulco Apple Blossom Impatient, which has been out, but this one has been improved as well. That's one thing with proven winners. If there's a plant variety that's just not performing as they would hope it would, they're going to go ahead and improve it. They're going to look for more flowers. They're going to look for darker greens. They're going to look for better branching, better disease resistant. Any way they can make a plant better, they're going to do what they can to make a plant better, because the better a plant is, the more success you're going to have with growing it. So definitely, actually it looks like most of these in the Acapulco series have been improved. I'm seeing rose, I'm seeing red, purple. So yeah, they must have found what they could do to make this variety better, and they've done it. They've done it on the full series. Here's some more of the portulacas. We had mentioned earlier that the Mojave tangerine was going to be, actually no, it was mango. Here's tangerine. Tangerine has been improved as well. And look at that. That is just a mass of beautiful colors. So tangerine seems to be just a little bit darker than the mango. Mango is sitting underneath the tangerine there. So close, but tangerine is definitely darker. Another variety they've improved is the Nemesia. This is Nemesia Bluebird. So Bluebird was always kind of a, I don't know, strappy, sparse, not super cool looking Nemesia. And they have improved this, and this is just a major improvement with the amount of flowers that the plants get. You would have never seen this many flowers on the old variety of Nemesia Bluebird. So definitely more flowers is a huge goal when creating new plants. One thing I am noticing though, and this might just be my observation, but this bluebird does seem to have a little bit smaller flowers. And I've noticed that in our landscape as well. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit smaller flower to have just masses of them, because this just really is a beautiful plant. Another new combination for 2025 is the Ireland combination. So if you are into yellows, this is a combination perhaps for you. This combination likes to be grown in full sun gardens. It's got the Super Bells Over Easy, which is a beautiful white Calibrachoa with the yellow center. It has the Goldilocks Rocks Bidens, which is a nice daisy flower. And then it has the Tangelo, Luscious Tangelo. That name changed. It used to be Tangelo. The things you figure out here. Luscious Basket Tangelo Lantana. So really that's making a beautiful mix. I'm going to take a picture of the sign so you can make note of the plants that create this combination. This is for full sun. This would be more of a heat-loving combination. Not to say you don't need to water as often, because you certainly do. But this is definitely a mix that can handle full sun gardens. So this little vignette here is called the Annual and Perennial Top Picks, new for 2025. So this must be what proven winners are feeling are going to be some of their top sellers. Now, I don't know, I'm not seeing the Tiara Pink in here, but I'm predicting that Tiara Pink is going to be an excellent top seller as well. So we've got Tiara Blue. Now this was a new variety actually for last year, the Super Bells Double Vintage Coral. And my daughter, she's 19, this is one of her favorite varieties. She loves the color of it, and you can see there's a lot of variation within this plant, from oranges to peaches to kind of reds. Beautiful double rosebud looking flowers. Another example of the Emerald Isle. A larger example of the Emerald Isle. Some of the new dahlias. Portulaca, some begonias, and even that mini-me watermelon. So exciting new things coming in 2025. I'd be curious. I mean, this isn't all of the plants, this is most of the plants, but is there anything that you've seen today in these new plant varieties that just really stands out to you and looks like something that you can't wait to get your hands on in 2025? If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave your comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.